What's up, people? Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. It is a new day after all. Yes, we did suffer a loss, that is Chelsea against Man City at home, but a new day, definitely a new belief, and that's what we are back with. Of course, the team management and of course the team themselves, will be confident. I hope. After all, we are the champions of Europe, and next up is the big Champions League game away to Juventus. And that's one game in itself, right? So hoping for the best, and that's where we had to come and discuss, along with a lot of other stuff that we're going to discuss. So again, people in the chat, smash that like button as well as subscribe if you haven't, and press that bell notification icon because we are bringing a lot more streams as well as standalone videos that you might have seen recently. Yes, the review videos are back. Check out the description below. The links are all there, and the more people we have, the more discussion we'll have, right? And that's what I'm looking for. And again, thanks for joining. As I say that, we obviously have a few people already in the chat. Here we have Chelsea Perspective, always supporting the channel. Great channel in himself. Thanks for joining. And of course, Just Viola. Thanks again. And we have Doug from the Dugout Football channel as well. Again, a great channel at that. Thanks for joining again. But yes, as more people join, I have to say, like, a special match day 2 of UCL, deserved a special panel. And that's where we have a great panel again. First and foremost, it had to be a Chelsea mate in Taron coming back. Taron, how are you, brother?
Yeah, really, really good to be back on the channel. Ankit, the love I have for you in this channel. Absolutely love the content every single week. Unfortunate result the weekend, but, what a better way to cheer myself up than being back on this channel with Michael, Talk, and you. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be back on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. And obviously, Taron, again, I did check out your vlog. Great vlog at that, on the other side of the coin. And thanks to Miss as well. But, talking about the vlog, I know, I had a great experience as an international fan. But this time, I think there were calls, again, controversial, that the crowd in the stadium weren't doing enough. I don't know. It's again, easy to say as an international fan or someone on Twitter. But for you, again, I could actually hear Manchester City fans really turn up. So for once they turned up, would that be fair, or do you think it's unfair?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think it's completely fair. I was in the stadium, and the place I was sitting was about, I'd say, a few meters away from the away fans. I know there's all this talk on Twitter, everything, that Man City fans are quiet. They don't turn up to the stadium. They're empty grounds. But they were so loud and so vocal. The Chelsea fans were so quiet. And the only kind of reason I put down to that is that we played so poorly. There was nothing for the fans to really do to kind of cheer on the team at times, if you get what I mean. There was no energy on the pitch. We were just behind the ball at home. As a champions of Europe, it wasn't really nice to watch. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great performance by the fans. Even the one end called the Matthew Harding end, which wasn't where I was sitting, is usually the most vocal end. I was surprised that I didn't hear one chant the whole game from that end. And usually the 2 Villa games I went to, the Zenit game, the Tottenham in pre-season, literally the whole time it's just chants and chants and chants. So yeah, I mean, the Man City fans really surprised me. And unfortunately, the end I was sitting in was a family end, which is where kind of the kids sit. So the Man City fans are bantering a bunch of 10-year-olds and stuff. So it's a bit weird at times, but, what can you do there? They're from Manchester. You don't know what they're like, really.
Yes. As in, again, it's all about opinions. But if you're saying that firsthand, I have to definitely take that. But we will discuss a lot more, about what we take from that game. Having said that, again, people who want to check out Taron's vlog and any content, great person to, interact on football Twitter as well. His links are below. So check it out, as well as obviously his podcast link as well. Second, I have to definitely, bring on some rival fans because we have Talk in the house. Talk, Manu, come on, Talk. I've been waiting to get you on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you asking me to come on. I agree with Taron. Your channel is it's a great channel, great content. You're a really top bloke.
No, as in definitely it's my pleasure and the channel's pleasure. But having said that, Talk, I know it's long time coming, but I don't think it's the right kind of moment for you as a Manchester United fan. 3 losses out of 4, as in for sure by now, as in it's Ole out, going public as well. How long do you reckon it's going to take to have that started?
Look, I mean, for me, I'm not Ole in, I'm not Ole out. I'll back him till the end of the season, or until as long as the board give him. But what I want to see from Ole really is I need to see him taking some more risks. We've got to take risks, especially at home. don't want to be seeing, Fred and McTominay at home. It's, we've got to be braver than that. It's as simple as that. And yeah, you know what? It's been a poor run, and Wednesday night is going to be, it's going to be a very squeaky bum time, I think, for Ollie. It really is.
Absolutely, and we obviously will discuss a lot more. Again, Talk, a great person to interact in a football with, as well as a very helpful and knowledgeable person. So do check out his socials below. And last but not the least, we have Michael from Michael Talks Football again. Michael, welcome back to Almighty Blues FC. How are you, brother?
Thank you, Ankit, for letting me come on once again to the Chelsea Almighty Blues channel, even though it's a Chelsea channel. Obviously, I'm supporting the Liverpool Reds, but always a pleasure to be on here. Not a great result over the weekend, but hey, it's football sometimes, and the Premier League is the best league in the world. So what do you expect? A newly promoted squad in Brentford just taking it to Liverpool, really not being scared, and 3-3 draw. I mean, as a neutral, it must have been exciting for me. It was painful to watch.
Absolutely. And again, I respect your opinion, but, you know a lot of stuff as well. So I know that, your channel covers a lot more content, just not Liverpool. And of course, Almighty Blues FC definitely is Chelsea biased and Chelsea, focused channel. But as you know, it's a fan channel for all to see as well. So, check out Michael Talks Football as well below. The description, has a link. But Michael, quick question here, right? And then again, there are reports today that I think EPL may have some matches, hosted by abroad countries. I don't know how do you take that news, as it's Super League again, right?
So that Premier League matches will be playing in other countries. Yeah,
as in again, that there's still talks, but this is something that has been ongoing and coming back,
Well, let me guess. It's probably in the USA, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Dubai. It's just money once again with these Premier League squads. Obviously, they're trying to get the USA market. They're trying to get the Saudi Arabia market. They're going for the markets that want money, and they're going to pay them a lot of money so the Premier League matches get played there. I don't like it. You stay in the country where it's supposed to be played. That's it. It's just all money once again. That's why I hate football nowadays. It's just all about money.
Yes, that's true. But again, it's something to be discussed for sure in the future. Hopefully, it doesn't, come back, because the Super League episode was, a big one in itself. Having said that, guys, big week coming up. So let's get into it. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have to definitely begin with Juventus, because that is the big game for the Almighty Blues. Hopefully, we'll get the might back, right? But let's firstly talk about what have we done against Juventus. Strangely, in so many years, of course, Chelsea being a Champions Club and Juventus, we haven't played much. But the times that we've played in the Champions League, those have been real close matches. Most of them, I think, we've drawn twice. We won just once, I think, in the 2009, as you saw, that we beat via Drogba goal. That actually took us to the quarters where we beat Liverpool, and then, of course, that Barcelona fiasco, by the referee, that is. And we all remember that. That was a very important win in itself. But 2012, Oscar goal, everyone remembers that. I think more we talk about it less. But we were eliminated and back to the Europa League after being champions, and that's something that we don't want again. In fact, we were really routed 3-0, I believe. So as of yet, we haven't really beaten Juventus at home. That is Juventus Stadium, right? As in, we haven't really beaten them. So it is definitely a big game, Taron. As I say that, we have a couple more people joining. We have Mikhail in the house as well. Thanks, Mikhail, for joining. But yes, so Taron, I know that the Man City game is something that we quickly dwell upon. It wasn't a great game. Everyone knows that Tuchel probably got the tactics wrong. The mentality of the team was not right there. But having said that, I think it to some extent it comes out to the formation as well, because I think they probably took for granted each midfielder, and I'm assuming you will go for a 3-4-3 with probably the people who are slightly ill or injured that Tuchel said, probably not playing. What do you reckon? I'll probably share what I think, but yeah, you can probably go ahead and tell me what you feel about the team.
Yeah, I think the lack of strength in midfield wasn't due to the numbers. It was just the formation, in my opinion. The players have been playing. You can say it's just one position in the same kind of system. Taking a player out of the front three into midfield. But for me, it's so much more than that. The pressing diamonds, how you press, how you drop back, how you build up in the build up. I think when you drop one player into midfield and make everything a bit deeper, it does change a lot of different kind of dimensions in everything, like I mentioned before. And you could see that when Man City were building up from the back, we needed a third player to kind of go into the final third, press whoever was left back. Was it Cancelo? Press one of the two centre backs and kind of help out there. And then you think Mason Mount would have been perfect in that team. And yeah, I know Werner and Lukaku, they can both press really well, but if they're both pressing and then there's a spare man easily to pass to, is there really a point? And then we just end up dropping into our midfield three. And then it's just, easy for Man City to pick up through the pockets, have space. They like to be playing against teams that drop deep. That's how Man City play in the best against the low teams, in my opinion. So that's how we kind of fell back. And we were still kind of playing a high line at times, despite being, dropped back. So for me, it was just all wrong from the mentality of players to the tactics to the team selection. I thought everything was wrong. But yeah, for this game, 100%. Yeah, what you put out there, Ankit, is very close to what I'd put out. Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. I think Loftus-Cheek before I would have never said he can play alongside another progressive midfielder.
Yes,
we saw the Aston Villa game at home in the Carabao Cup. He was so good at protecting the ball from deep, building up from the back, even driving a bit forward more than Jorginho does for Chelsea. So yeah, it was really nice to see. And yeah, Chilwell especially, I'll bring him back into this game 100%. I think Alonso, I think quite an interesting quote from Jonathan, Manhandle CFC, said that the more Alonso plays, the more he kind of wears out and the more he kind of fades out from his good form. Even the Conte season, he started off amazingly well. And then that form did he still played, but his form did kind of die out. And even under Lampard, and now it's coming under Tuchel as well. So I think it's a perfect time. Bring back Ben Chilwell and then absolutely exploit Juventus a lot because Alonso factor is kind of wearing down. And yeah, the two attacking, 10s in this team. We mentioned on the stream before, Ankit, about, 3 left footers. But I think the dimensions can easily work. Lukaku can play on his right foot. Havertz can play on his right foot. Ziyech, he likes being on his left foot. But I think let's try this out for one game. I think it can really work well. We have the pace, we have the technical ability, we have the dribbling, the skill. So I think it could work really well. And yeah, but Man City was really disappointing, man.
Exactly. And it's all about trying, right? Until we try, we will not know whether it will work. And again, people in chat, I would like to know, what do you think of this lineup? Is this something that will work? For me, again, risking Thiago Silva again, it's a big, long season, right? I don't want to kind of risk him again. He was kind of brought in too early. I know he got that last-ditch tackle, but he wasn't 100% as well. That was clear to see. And same with Jorginho. So I would rather rest them and give Chalobah, who are probably more motivated, just like Loftus-Cheek, right, to play this game. And like Taron said, as in the strength is there. Juventus are a strongly built team. So hopefully, we are able to, fend that off with Loftus-Cheek being in the, midfield. So interesting again, chat, please tell me, what do you think will be the starting lineup again for those fantasy managers. I'm not sure if we have the late winner show in the house today, but I know that they are FPL experts for sure. And Shreyas says, I have Hudson-Odoi right over Aspi, attacking dynamism with Aspi is in there. Well, true that. But again, Juventus, we'll come to the Juventus team for sure. But from what I know, Juventus, they definitely have a couple of people injured. They have, I think, Dybala definitely injured. He was in tears, as we all know. And Morata is probably injured as well. And I think Rabiot also might be slightly injured. So those are the three, kind of ifs and buts for Juventus. So that will probably make them change the formation. That is why I'm going with Azpilicueta. I'll probably share what I feel the Juventus 11 will be. Again, people in the chat comment, based on what you think, if you follow Serie A. But they have been playing 4-4-2 entire season, and I get that. But the fact that both the centre forwards are injured, and it's against Chelsea, the champions of Europe, I think they'll probably revert to the wing back formation, which has traditionally worked for Juventus as in over the years, right? And again, Cuadrado is there, an ex-Chelsea man himself. So I don't know. This is something that I would expect Juventus to start with. But Talk, I'll come to you. Talk, I'm not sure how much of Serie A have you followed lately, but again, this on paper talk looks a fantastic team. Like again, we watched Euros. You were there, talk. I know you. I was there in few watch along with you. Definitely, as in this looks a great team, right? As in, what is it missing in Juventus? Because as of now, they have I think they won I think 2 games, but only one last weekend at home, the first one, then drawn 2 as well as lost 2. So there's definitely something missing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Juventus have a bit of a sticky patch on there. That's a bit right, and in the Serie A. So, you know what? You look at your form in the Premier League. Yeah, all right. So you came up against Manchester City. They play in front of you, make it difficult because they pass the ball so quickly. And that's if you're not you know, sort of well drilled at keeping your shape. That's where Manchester City will just take the mickey. So they're pushing the ball wide, and they're like, I watched some of the game, and people were talking about Manchester City was bullied to Chelsea, but from what I watched, I didn't see it like that. I just didn't see it like that. I thought it was just a case of Pep understands that you got to move the ball quickly against Chelsea. You know, you give Chelsea time to get at you, they will do. They're not going to just, let you do what you want to do. But if you, like I call it, well, the phrase playing in front of teams, Manchester City can do that very well. So, but going into this game against Juventus, if I was going to back anyone, I'd have to back Chelsea, to be fair, just simply because Tuchel is going to be. Listen. Tuchel is a great manager. We know that. He's a fantastic manager. This loss to Manchester City will have hurt him massively. He will have hurt him massively. He's a proud manager, and he's going to want him. He'll have had a go at the team. The team will have a go at each other. I think that's the kind of mentality there is there at Chelsea at the moment with Tuchel. They've got to be questioning each other. It's not a case of you've just lost the game and you go home and we'll talk about it in the morning at training. No, it goes deeper than that. If you're going to be successfully sustaining any kind of success, so I think Chelsea are definitely favourites going into this game. I think you're just too solid for Juventus. I mean, they've got some dangerous players, we know, but for me, I would have to back Chelsea. And that system that you put up there, the 3-4-3. Yeah, I mean, it's a brave system, isn't it? Is it? Are you away or at home? I can't remember.
No, as in it's at Juventus, right? So that's where I'm going to come to Michael, because I know Michael kind of knows his tactics in terms of Serie A. So Michael, I know Juventus have played 4-4-2, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, right? That they kind of got these injuries, and against Chelsea, matching Chelsea, and that'll probably suit them, because imagine De Ligt, again, I know I'm a Dutch supporter and all that, but it's De Ligt, Bonucci and Chiellini. That's some centre back, kind of at the back end, and Cuadrado definitely will want to get one over Chelsea. What do you reckon?
I don't think they're going to play that 3-4-3 formation. Allegri is just a simple Italian manager. He'll stick with the 4-4-2 formation. He'll probably play Kulusevski, who usually is at the wing. He'll probably play him in the 10 spot. He does that for the Swedish national team. Then we'll have Chiesa on the left, Cuadrado on the right, and then we'll see Bentancur and then Locatelli, who's a very good Italian midfielder, in the midfield. And then I think it's just going to be Bonucci and Chiellini at the back. But I've watched a lot of Juventus this year. And they started the season horribly. They were like Arsenal, basically. First 4 games, they only had 1 point. They lost to newly promoted Empoli 1-0. They lost to Napoli horribly. They gave a 2-0 lead away to Udinese because WeeklyReview Szczęsny, he may have left Arsenal, but Arsenal never leaves him. Let me just tell you that. WeeklyReview Szczęsny this season has been absolutely horrible. So if you guys can take advantage of him, I would definitely do that, because Szczęsny, he's just a void of confidence. And then the last 2 games, they've kind of come back in form. They were 2-1 down against Spezia, who's a team that's probably going to be relegated. Then they came back to win it 3-2, and then over the weekend they beat Sampdoria 3-2. And then I think Chiesa is now back in the starting lineup. He was injured for the first part of the season, and we know from the Euros he's such a dangerous player. But this Juventus squad, it is lacking a lot of confidence. Let's say that they're 10 points behind the leaders, Napoli in the Serie A, so they got a lot of catching up to do if they want to challenge for the Serie A title. But I only see a Chelsea win here. I think you guys are a bit too strong for your squad. With your squad you guys have, interesting that you have Loftus-Cheek in the midfield. I like that addition because he actually played a very good game against Man City. Very physical guy, and I think you guys need that, especially against Locatelli and Bentancur, who are very two box-to-box midfielders. So if you guys can overrun that midfield, I think Chelsea will win this game, because the midfield battle is going to be key. If you guys can because when I did a watch along for Juventus AC Milan. At times, the Juventus defense was just all over the place. It's just so open from them at times. There's just no organization. But maybe now in the last couple of weeks, they might have been a bit more organized, especially with Bonucci and Chiellini at the back. But I'm going to go with the Chelsea win here. I said 2-0. I think you guys are just too strong. But maybe then Ziyech has to have a good game. Definitely your two camps behind Lukaku have to have big games.
Definitely. That's something that I think in the Champions League, hopefully it'll turn up, because I think both have had fantastic Champions League, just 3 months ago, right? That's something that I'm looking forward to. But you're right, as in, again, Locatelli, someone who scored at the weekend, Kulusevski is someone who got an assist, if I'm not wrong, came on and can play that number 10 role. So, I can see that happening as well. So it'll be certainly interesting. But again, coming to Taron, I think we've got to speak about two players that, Chelsea are linked with. I know it's just, media reporting it. I don't know it's because a big team is, going to Juventus is the right timing or not. But Chiesa, again being linked, as well as De Ligt. I think it's over 100 million is what, the fee is touted for. So, Taron, where are you at, getting De Ligt or probably promoting Biamba is the better option, right? What do you think?
I mean, if we were to take away the rumours, I'd 100% take both of them at Chelsea, 100%. I think Chiesa, for me, is one of the most promising midfielders in Europe right now, attacking midfielders. At the Euros, he was one of the most standout players for me for Italy. His goal against Spain was absolutely superb. And against England, I thought he was really, really a kind of standout player against Kyle Walker as well. It's not easy to get the better out of such a physical, quick kind of experienced right back, but Chiesa did that really well. So yeah, Chiesa, one player I'll definitely take at Chelsea right now. I think Hakim Ziyech, he's done really well to kind of, come to Chelsea, try and show who he is as a player. But I don't necessarily think this league is suited for him right now. So if he does try and get a move in the summer, I think Chiesa could be a player we could get in to compete in the attacking roles. 100%. I think he offers something different. He's really sharp off the mark. He's really creative. He's really, really good at shooting. He has a great end pass in him. And there's a reason Juventus signed him from Fiorentina. It's because he's a real talent. Juventus don't sign any old Larry from the shop. They sign top class players. De Ligt, I mean, we'll go on to him now as well. Yeah, I saw 100 million, but I think it was from Marsa, something like that. So obviously I'm not going to take it too seriously. Spanish Sun, that is basically for UK kind of watches right now. But yeah, De Ligt 100%. Since he's joined Juventus from Ajax, definitely not been kind of the potential. He was at Ajax 100% in the Champions League. But Ajax, I remember watching him against Tottenham and other games. And wow, what a young, great, promising defender he was back then. But for Juventus, I think injuries have really played a factor in him not being a great player. Bonucci and Chiellini's kind of resurgence, as you could like to say, and Desari and Andrea Pirlo, they've really started to come into their own again. So yeah, I mean, he's not been the best for Juventus. 100 million, I think, is a bit too steep right now for De Ligt. And Jules Koundé is a bit too high up on Chelsea's list right now. But yeah, if we are linked with Chiesa and Chelsea got tomorrow, Marina Granovskaya gives the money to Juventus and says, we'll take him right now. Of course I'm going to take it because Chiesa is superb. But De Ligt, on the other hand, I'm not too sure on him. I think the last few years haven't really been too promising in my opinion. So yeah, I'd rather take Koundé, but Chiesa is one player that I've been following for years. And at the Euros especially, I thought he was absolutely superb.
Fantastic. Exactly. Again, I love a dribbler as well. Personally, I would go for him. Again, only if, people leave. And talk about people who can dribble. Pulisic. Again, I think Pulisic has been training individually. So hopefully in tomorrow's presser, we'll get more details, like I said. But I can certainly, see Pulisic come on, even if he's like a 90% fit. I think we may take a chance if we are kind of not, as in winning the game. As in, he's someone who can do something extra. I know Hudson-Odoi, the call is that. Shrey yourself, has told. But for me, I think Pulisic has that quality, especially in Champions League, do something different altogether. And yes, again, big up to people who've joined late. Rishabh, I think, from the Late Winner Show, as well as Drog Baba. Drog Baba has been on the channel, great channel in himself that he has. So, lot of Juventus talk there, guys. Again, people in the chat, come up with your starting 11s and predictions. We've done ours. Having said that, let's move ahead. What do you say, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so and just take a look at what kind of results happened in those weekend, and that's something that as a Chelsea fan, I'm just lucky, and we are lucky to have Manchester United the way that they are playing and managed rather have that. But again, no pun intended talk, but talk like I heard on a few channels, I think Rich Sports and a couple other channels as well, that basically there was probably one or two kind of refereeing decisions again being question marks, but surely I think Villa kind of deserved it, right? I didn't watch every minute of the game, I watched the highlights only, but talk, what do you reckon? Like, Villa deserved that win at Old Trafford finally?
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. I'm not going. I'd never argue a decent performance by opposition. They deserved to win the game. We just weren't good enough. Harry Maguire was very lucky, in my opinion, to not give a. In fact, he may well have got he might have got a red. If you look at the challenger and the position on the pitch, I was watching it. I was like, oh my god, what's he done there? And I was waiting for the ref to pull the whistle out and stuff, and he didn't. I'm like, all right, we've got away with it. That's great, but. In terms of the whole game itself, look, listen, if you can't dominate the midfield and set the tempo at home, then you're going to have problems against a team like Villa. We gave them the confidence as the game grew because we was offering them nothing. We were, Mason Greenwood, listen, is a fantastic prospect and a great kid. I love him, but he's going to have to learn quickly from that performance because you cannot be trying to put balls in from them angles when there's other options available. Simple as that. Got to learn to release the ball, just release the ball to somebody else who's in a better position. And we've seen it. There's a couple of occasions where we should have done that. But yeah, overall, I think Villa, Villa, they deserve to take the points. As simple as that.
Interesting. Obviously, like I'll stick to talk because I know talk you have to leave early as well. But I would like to get your further thoughts. Having said that, about Villareal, right? And from what I know, Villareal. They are the draw merchants of the sport, as with, of course, good evening, man, Mr. And then he's definitely one of them, right? Who goes very defensive. Having said that, he's certainly someone who I think is missing Gerard Moreno, the only probably goal scorer he has. So he'll set up even more defensively. I know Villarreal have dropped a lot of points in La Liga, but technically they are still unbeaten. So that's something to look out for. Talking about Manchester United, I think they are missing. Luke Shaw got injured, if I'm not wrong, as well as I think Maguire got a slight calf injury or a pull. That's what I heard. So I think those are two possible misses for Manchester United. So I know Van Bissaka, after that red card against Young Boys, is definitely suspended. So how do you see tackling Villarreal? And what will be the weapon that you'd use and the approach?
Well, firstly, we don't want to be playing the two sitting midfielders. Definitely, you can't do that. Definitely not. They're going to be, like you said, they're going to just sit there and say, okay, well, listen, we played you before, we beat you in the final. You come and try your hardest. But we are at the first opportunity, we will come and have a go ourselves at getting on the break. But you know what? If we just play the one, I would say Matic alongside Pogba. That's the midfield there for me. And then obviously, I've got a lot of Man United fans saying 4-4-2. Now the 4-4-2, in my opinion, the only way that would work is if we went to Diamond. But then when I say that, I've got some Man United fans who say, no, that can't work. I'm like, well, tell me why it can't work then. Tell me why. We've got two of the most lethal strikers in world football. All right, I know they're aging, but they're still lethal strikers. We've got a player in Donny van der Beek who's not really. When he's come on, he's shown that I say his metronome ticks faster than everybody else's because of his movement, his understanding. He works the space exceptionally well. So for me, that four in the midfield in a diamond could actually work. If you had like a Matic at the base, Pogba, Bruno, Donny van der Beek, and then the two, and obviously on the wing, for the wing backs, you call them wing backs, wingers, whatever you want to call them. But obviously we'd have to go for the more attacking options. So, but even then, I think with Varane and mates, we're probably going to Varane and Lindelof if Maguire in fit. Then I still think we've got enough there to dominate that midfield and have enough in Matic to really sort of snuff them out if they do get a break on us. So I think that's that kind of setup. I would love to see him be brave and do that. Whether he will, I don't think so. He'll probably stick with the 4-2-3-1. But like I say, in the two, I want him to not have two. The Fred and McTominay. I want him to go Pogba and Matic, and have Matic as the holding player, and giving Pogba free reign to get in amongst the midfield and try and dictate the pace of the game. That's why if you don't do that, you're asking for trouble.
But still, like, you're well placed in Group F. I think Group F obviously helped that, Villareal kind of drew their game against Atalanta the last game, right? So I think a win will probably not get Man United back on track. That's what I personally feel. And just while I also agree that a Man United win is, great, or a draw even, as in that will be Ole in for the timing at least. So as rival fans, we would kind of want that, to be very honest. Again, no pun intended, but definitely it is. But yes, talk, I think, great, conversation that we had. I know, just a shame that we just had a half an hour conversation with you, but I believe you have to go, mate. As in any last word, anything that you would like to share?
Well, I just want to quickly speak about the Ole situation. I mean, look, we've just got to put it into context. Look, the guy's taken over from two failed managers who were supposedly some of the greatest managers. However, they failed. It's a massive. It's probably the biggest job in world football, really. Just because of the expectation, just because of the history, blah blah blah. So he's took over. He's done well in the first couple of seasons, in my opinion, getting us back on track, pushing us up. We've had a progression. So right now, in this season, right now, is for me, he needs to either two things that he can do if he wants to continue his reign as Manchester United manager. One is he's seriously got to look at a coaching setup. In my opinion, it's not experienced enough and it ain't good enough. It's okay knowing about a 4-2-3-1, but it's a different story about understanding and working it to its best ability without the key player, which is the number 6. We ain't got it apart from Matic. We won't play Matic too often because obviously he's because of his age, which is fair enough. Then the second option that he's got, in my opinion, is if he's not going to do the 4-4-2 diamond, go to 4-3-3. That's what he knows. That's what he's been successful with at Mulder, and that's what he came in and went on that winning run with us with, was the 4-3-3. We've got the players to do it. He's just got to be brave. You've got to be brave. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool are brave. Jurgen Klopp understands the numbers game. I've said to this before to you, Ankit, I think. The numbers game with Liverpool is, Liverpool know they're going to go out there and create. If they create 4 chances, you know that they're going to score at least minimum 2 of those 4 chances because of the quality they've got in those striking areas. So, and in most of the time for the opposition with the defence and the way they're drilled at Liverpool, how many chances are the opposition going to create? Let's say they create 2, how many will they score? And on a good day, they'll score 1. But Liverpool will outscore most teams, and this is the bravery part of it. So for Jurgen Klopp, that's what I like about Jurgen Klopp, the way he plays his football. It's brave. Just, you've got your plan, stick to it and go for it and put them on the rack. So that's where I stand.
Fair point. No, then also again, as I reckon, Ole will do the job in the Champions League. Kind of, it's almost a do or die in terms of not lose game, right? And that's something that you probably will be set up that way, in my opinion. But yes, again, great to have you talk. I know that you have to go. So again, thanks a lot, and hope to have you soon on Almighty Blues FC. People in the chat, do check out the description for talk. We'll continue the chat obviously with Michael and Taron, but talk. Thanks for having.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. Sorry.
Thanks very much for having me, Ankit. I really appreciate you having me on. Fantastic channel, and you guys are. I'd love to do another stream with you guys again at some point, but a longer one where I'm not kind of, have to go somewhere else. But listen, big up to you guys, and thank you very much.
See you later.
Our pleasure, definitely.
Cheers.
Okay, so moving on to Michael. Michael, I think Talk briefly mentioned about Liverpool. As in, it's a group of death, right? Let's get it right. Definitely, I think Group B is a group of death. But Liverpool did great in that first game against AC Milan, but it's Porto away, if I'm not wrong. And I think Porto have a few bright players for sure, which could surprise Liverpool. I know you had Marco Grujic, who was at Liverpool previously. He plays at Porto, and hopefully, I think he'll probably start as well, in my opinion. And I think if Pepe is fit, I think that's a kind of weapon Porto have physically, just that physical danger that Liverpool have, right? And that's something that you would need to look out for. And Taremi, I think Taremi is someone who scored, I think, a brilliant goal, but not just that. I think in the previous match against Atletico Madrid, he was really unlucky, that we covered in the previous stream. So as in, those are some great players. Oliveira is a great player. So as in, do you see Liverpool's defense, changing, something that Klopp will go with that will probably surprise Porto, because Liverpool have been leaking? I know the Brentford game is something that we didn't speak about, but what do you reckon the defense will be like?
That Brentford game is still hurting me a lot because we should have won that game, but Mo Salah missed the chance. But for the Porto game, it's difficult really because when we've gone away to Porto the last two times, we've been in the 5-1 and 4-0. So we've absolutely destroyed them the last two times. But I've been telling this to Liverpool fans and some of my friends that like this is a completely different Porto squad that now have Taremi, who just talked about, the Iranian striker who, if you guys have seen the video over the weekend, he scored from 50 yards out. He chipped the goalkeeper from 50 yards. So he's on good form. Then their tricky Colombian winger, Luis Diaz, who had a fantastic Copa America. And then him against Trent. This Trent guy and his defending is just, I've been saying it for years. This guy can't defend, and he still can't. Even though, like, for the third goal against Brentford, it wasn't really his fault. He was like 3-on-1 against all the Brentford players. And what is he supposed to do? Like, he can't cover all of the players at the back post. And I kind of felt bad that they were definitely targeting Trent for Brentford. And they saw that he was the weakness in the squad. So that's what I'm kind of worried about, is that will teams continue to do that? They're going to look at Trent as the weakness. And let's see then if teams continue to do that. And for Porto, I mean, they have really good players. Pepe, Sergio Oliveira, Grujic. He might come back and bite us in the butt, really, after we sold him for 15 million. And then Taremi, of course. So they have a lot of good players, Porto. And I'm not like worried, but I think this is going to be a 1-goal game. Liverpool should win it because we definitely have more quality. Maybe bring in Konate. Maybe he usually likes to rest Van Dijk because he rested Van Dijk against AC Milan, and he's going to look also to the Man City game on the weekend, another big game for Liverpool. So, yeah, it's a very tricky game for Liverpool. I don't think we should take this lightly whatsoever, or we might lose this game because Porto have started the Primeira Liga very well in Portugal. So, very, very tough game to say.
Absolutely. And I think the group in itself, right? Because again, coming to the other game, Taron, again, people in the chat, especially Chelsea fans, I know will be following AC Milan very closely this season. With Giroud, with Tomori being there, I think AC Milan can surprise Atletico for sure, right? As in, I know Bakayoko, the Chelsea legend, is injured. Again, no taunt there, but I think Bakayoko definitely doesn't start anyway for me. But I think Giroud against Atletico Madrid, I think our memory kind of serves right. I mean, he got that, goal of the season kind of, bicycle kick. So hopefully he'll have that against Atletico. And I don't know, Atletico, the attack they have, I know they don't attack much, but Suarez and co, like, you think Tomori and I think I'm not sure if Simon Kjaer is fit 100%, but I'm not sure if they could really resist that kind of attack as well. Like, what do you see happening, Taron, in that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great game. That group is, for me, one of the best groups in the whole competition in terms of quality. I think people are kind of underestimating Porto a lot, but when we played Porto last season, they gave us a great game over 2 legs, even though they were kind of in a neutral venue. It was just like, what was it, 2-1 on aggregate or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it was a great game, and both of them. So Porto, I think, underestimated. But for this game, I think AC Milan, after the first kind of half an hour, first of all, I'd like to say Liverpool are definitely one of my favourite teams to watch as a Chelsea fan. I love the way they press. I love the way they play on the front foot. I love their possession, the way they recycle it. And I think AC Milan, after the first 80 minutes, I thought it could be 3-4-0 with the amount of chances that are being created, the complete surges and bombardment at their kind of 18-yard box. I really thought it could be curtains, but what happened? They came back with great kind of resilience and everything. But just before the second half, Brahim Diaz and Ante Rebic did really, really well to do that. But then obviously they lost the game in the end. The defending for me still for AC Milan is an issue. I think Tomori, we know in the future he's going to be a top defender, a top class defender, but there is still flaws in his game in terms of reading of the game, positioning, stuff like that, where he does get a bit carried away. He loves to step out of defense. He loves to be aggressive and man mark players. When he does that, it leaves a bit of space for behind Simon Kjaer that can be exploited. So for me, AC Milan still look very, very, I'd say, not great defensively, but going forward, I think they're absolutely fluid and superb. Brahim Diaz playing at Man City, I didn't really see much of him, maybe in the League Cup a few times. But AC Milan becoming the new number 10, I think he's been great this season. And Ante Rebic, we know him from the World Cup, their goal against Argentina, the caviar kind of volley. But yeah, I think he's absolutely superb as well. And the rest of the team really, really impressed me. Atletico Madrid, I mean, for me, it does seem like Simeone and Atletico Madrid, again, a bit stale now. I think it's fair to say that. I don't know if people agree with me in the chat. Yes, they won the Liga last season, but Real Madrid were nowhere near how good they can be. Barcelona were nowhere near as good as they could be. So I think that title win was not as great as it could have been. And I just think the tactics, everything, their goals, they're not scoring as many goals. Luis Suarez is not having as great a season as he did last season. João Felix is not having as great season as he did last season. And yeah, I just think Atletico Madrid are becoming more and more stale under Simeone. He's been at the club for, I think, it's near to 9-8 years. It could be even more. Michael probably know the exact probably number, something along those kind of brackets. But yeah, I think Simeone and Atletico are not really great for me right now. So I think AC Milan will probably win the game. I think it'll be tight, maybe 1 or 2-0. Atletico Madrid, I don't really expect them to score the goal, score a goal in the game. I reckon a goal from Brahim Diaz again might be the setter in the game, but very, very tight. Atletico Madrid, sitting back in their low block as usual, and AC Milan maybe just nicking one just behind the half spaces.
Interesting. Certainly, for a neutral, definitely we would love to see AC Milan win here, and that will really, make the group really interesting for me. Like Atletico going great guns in the return, against Liverpool again. Michael won't be happy me saying that, but that's something like a neutral. And of course, I have soft corner for AC Milan as well. Like I said, previously before the stream, I was a huge Shevchenko fan as well as Kaká fan. As in people all. Sharing something personal, but yes, people kind of called me Kaka in my school days, but yeah, that's how it was, right? But now the big game, right? The big game, obviously, of this match day has to be. So yeah, please go ahead, Michael.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say about Atletico Madrid that they're boring. They're just boring as hell. I don't know what else to say about them. They just lost over the weekend to Alaves, first win. You know how many goals Griezmann has since he joined Atletico Madrid? 0. Big fat donut. They can't do anything. I don't know what Diego Simeone, like Taron says, they're just stale. They're like stale bread. They're just boring. I don't know, you have all this attacking talent and you can't do anything with it. I don't know. Just Simeone is so negative. I hate it. Really. And there we go. See right there. Chelsea perspective chose the words right out of my mouth. They're negative. They're just negative football. Like last year against Chelsea. God. I don't know what to say about them. I hope they don't get out of the group, to be honest.
Yeah, again, it's Champions League, right? Anything can happen, and that's what we love about the Champions League. But yeah, like I said, the biggest game of the week is obviously PSG versus Man City after the Chelsea game. That is, so PSG Man City, it's a huge game on paper. But Michael, I know, as in worldwide, I think Messi has been criticized over the last week or so for the way he's taken a game at PSG in France, but for me, again, someone who's kind of watched Messi over the years, I have to definitely, point it out on the channel that, as in this is someone who is, I know, the GOAT, but has moved countries, I think, first time, ever almost, right? As in, it's a new thing for him as well. He's human after all, and it's Pochettino, as we all know, what Pochettino is capable of and what he's not capable of. I don't know about his man management skills. That's something that I don't know as an experienced player, an ego clash maybe there. I know he was subbed a couple of times, but again, it might be an injury. Maybe he's not 100% fit. So, Michael, where are you at this Messi, debate? I think you think Messi will probably, it's just a form, right? He'll probably come back to what he is, right, in Champions League.
Yeah, I think it's just form. This is the first time he's moved to a new country and lived in a new country since 13 when he moved from Argentina to Barcelona. I think it just takes a little bit of time, and obviously getting used to new teammates as well. And it's just a matter of time. I can't imagine Messi is going to keep this sort of form where, to be honest, he's only played 2 games. He's only played the Club Brugge, and then he played against, I can't remember the other team he played against. I think it was Reims or something like that. Those are only 2 games he's played. And then he played in the first 70 minutes against Lyon, and then he came off injured. So we'll see if he even plays tomorrow, because apparently he's been training, and we'll see if he's going to start. Maybe he won't. I doubt he's going to start. I think Pochettino's going to be smart enough not to risk the injury to make it even worse. But if he comes back, then my God, what a matchup we have here of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe versus Man City. Oh my God. But it's going to be really interesting to see for this matchup, the midfield battle, because the midfield for Man City over the weekend against Chelsea, my God, that was glorious to watch, really, with Foden and De Bruyne and Rodri. Rodri was so good in the game, I thought, as well, just controlling that midfield. The Chelsea midfield couldn't do anything against Rodri. It was ridiculous. So when you play against, because Verratti is injured as well, Paredes, I don't rate him that much, even though I'm a big Argentina fan. I don't really rate him that much. Wijnaldum, yeah, he's good. He's going to be box-to-box kind of guy. Idrissa Gueye, He's okay. So if you're Man City and you're looking at that PSG midfield, you're gonna run over that midfield all day, and then the front three are not gonna press or defend. So it's basically you can do whatever you want then against the PSG defense, and it's weak at this point. So we're gonna see, and especially for PSG, Hakimi, one of the best right backs in the world. I think people are going to realize this. He is one of the best right backs in the world. Yes, he can't defend, but attacking wise, he has like already 4 goals this season for a right back. I think he's the top goal scorer for PSG, if I'm not mistaken. So, what a fantastic matchup. Hopefully, Messi plays. That's all I hope for.
Yeah, I think talking about top goal scorers, if I'm not wrong, like I know Hakimi is there and Chelsea were going for him, but Taron, one of the players who's really come up, trumps this season has been Andre Herrera. Herrera was, in England previously. I know Manchester United fan still is what he's gone on record saying. So against Man City, like he'll have something up his sleeve for sure, right? He's someone who's scoring as well, and that midfield, like I think Michael touched upon, they can kind of defend as well. Like they definitely have a personnel this season with my Wijnaldum, with Herrera in there. Do you reckon they can stop Man City?
Yeah, I think Ander Herrera, for me, it's another Ole shocker, in my opinion, for getting rid of Herrera. I never saw him as a player who never fit the system. He was always great against Chelsea, and I thought he's a really consistent player. He played with the heart on his badge all the time. So, yeah, very, very. I mean, he did commit a few silly fouls and handballs against Chelsea, back in the day. I think, Ankit, you'll probably remember the handball where he stopped the counter-attack against, was it the Sarri days or Conte? But yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean, Herrera is kind of an underrated kind of star in this PSG team right now. He's got in there with a few goals this season. He's a great box-to-box player. And when, Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi are kind of struggling with the chemistry a little bit, I think Herrera is always reliable. He can get an assist, he can get a goal, and he can always come out with drums times. But yeah, I still think that the spine in this PSG team is not great. Wijnaldum has had a really poor start to his PSG kind of career, and understandably, moving from Liverpool, it's always going to take time to adapt to a new league, even though it's a little bit easier. But Wijnaldum's not had a great start to the season. Idrissa Gana Gueye, I think he's a decent player, but not someone who I think should be starting for one of the Champions League kind of favourites. And Herrera for me is definitely up there with their best midfielders, but still for me, like Michael said, Leandro Paredes, he's an okay player, but never for me is up there with one of the best in Europe, in my opinion. So yes, the attack is great for PSG. The defence now with Hakimi in there is amazing, but that midfield spine for me is so key in the Champions League winning team. You need a great midfield spine to control possession, to keep the ball, to win physical battles, to break out of possession, break out of press, high press on another team. We saw it so many times with Jorginho and Kante and Kova last season, how many times they released the pressure for us. And I think that midfield could really cost PSG this season. It's similar to Man United. They brought Sancho in, they brought Ronaldo in, they brought all these other players, but they need a number 6 in that team to really control everything and be the anchor. And I just think PSG like that. But yeah, like you said, and Herrera is definitely for me one of their best midfielders. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, bringing in Donny van der Beek, barely even playing him, get rid of Herrera. That doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion.
Yes, that's true. It'll certainly be an interesting battle for sure. Like, again, not really great watching Man City after, beating Chelsea, but it is a great game on paper. Like, we have to, give Man City that, and of course, PSG, the kind of players they have. But people in the chat, like, let's get to predictions, because I would like to know, what do you reckon? Like, this big game, what's the scoreline? Again, people in the chat, come up with the predictions, and we'll probably tally it later on. But I am definitely, going for a PSG win. For me, I can see PSG kind of beating Man City, and Man City, I think, gave a bit too much against Chelsea, and they'll probably not have that much. That's just me. But Taron, what do you reckon? What's your prediction for PSG Man City?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult game, but Man City are going to carry on that form from the weekend, in my opinion. It's going to be a 2-0 win to Man City. Clean sheet again. Ruben Diaz is on fire. Aymeric Laporte is back. Joao Cancelo and Kyle Walker look very, very sharp. And PSG, yes, they're decent. In my opinion, obviously much better than decent, but I think Man City are just, as a team, as a spine, as a better manager, I think they're much better overall. So I'll go with a 2-0 win.
Perfect. And what about you, Michael?
Wait, Ankit, do you think that Messi is going to come back and start the game?
I doubt he'll start the game, but still, I think it's just Champions League and Neymar and I think Mbappe, right? And that's something that I think PSG have it in them, and it's just that they can probably get hold of Kyle Walker. If anyone in the world kind of can get hold of Kyle Walker in terms of pace, I think Mbappe is the one, right? And that's something that I see them opening up, and I can see just an odd goal. Probably they'll probably win 2-1, but yeah, Messi will come on, but I can see Messi again. Like, I'm calling it early. Messi being the top scorer of this Champions League. Like, this is a huge call, I know, but for me, like, he has it in him. And the moment he went to PSG, like, he wants the service, and I think PSG, he can get that. And I don't think Mbappe and Neymar can finish that well. Messi will be the focal point. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't know what to expect in this matchup, really, because obviously this is a rematch of the semi-final last year where Man City pretty much wiped PSG in both legs, even though PSG were good in the first half of the first leg. They had the 1-0 lead. Then Man City just came back roaring in the second half. Now, if you think about it, which of the two teams has the better manager? Obviously, Man City do. Which of them has the better core of players? Man City does. Obviously, do they have a better defense? Man City, yes. Donnarumma, I think it was a bad move. He went to PSG. He just went there for money, basically. We know why he went there. It was all for money, and it's kind of sad to see because I think it's already rumors that he wants to go to Juventus. I don't understand that at all. But for me, I'm not too sure about this PSG squad just yet, but they have to win this game. If they don't win this game, PSG, 1 point in the first 2 games, and they still got to play away at Man City and twice against RB Leipzig. And RB Leipzig, even though they have started really poorly in the Bundesliga, they just won 6-0 over the weekend. But I just think Man City are too good. Will they have an eye on the weekend against Liverpool? Possibly. They might rest some players. Maybe we'll see a Gundogan come in and Sterling come in. But I think still Man City are too strong. They have good chemistry. 2-1 Man City.
Interesting. Like, again, contrasting opinions here. But I know, Michael, you gave, the big, prediction about Chelsea going to Juventus and Chelsea winning it. But Taron, I didn't get the prediction from you. And then what do you reckon will be the scoreline for Juventus-Chelsea?
I think it'll be a lot tighter than people expect. Juventus, they've had a very poor start to the season, like Michael rightly said before. But I think back-to-back 3-2 wins for them shows a lot of character. They are coming back into their form under Max Allegri. And yeah, I think it'll be a tight game. But I'm going to still go with the Chelsea win. I have to back the boys. I did kind of say 3-0 on a channel for the weekend, and it was very, very embarrassing. And I think, yeah, we'll do it. But I think disconnected.
Yeah, I think it's kind of up and down, but that's okay. As in, we could get that. Like, definitely, we got a prediction. And of course, we watched that as well. I think in Dominic's channel. Again, big up to Dominic. But again, congratulations for Man City win. That's all I can tell Dominic. But for now, I think we will probably, take a Chelsea win. Whatever it is, I think we just have to get that momentum back. Other predictions, Michael, the Man United game, definitely Ole will kind of get a result, right? Finally.
I don't know. It's Villareal. Remember what happened in the Europa League final? It was
exactly
Villareal comeback. Even though there's no Gerard Moreno, that's a big miss for them. Maybe Paco Alcácer for Villareal can step up. And like you said, they've only won 1 game since April, Villareal. They are the kings of draws. They have won 1 game since April, and that was like a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, Man United have to win this game. If they lose this game or draw, then they have 1 point in the first 2 games, and they still got to play Atalanta twice, and we know how good Atalanta are. Then they got to go away to Villareal. Man, it could be bad for Man United as well after these first 2 games like PSG. So I just expect the Man United win. If they don't win this, they're going to come after Ole. It has to be 2-1 Man United, even though it could be 0-0, because that's all Villareal do. They just draw 0-0.
Something's got to give, right? As in, there can be a limit as to how much they can draw. They won, I think, 1 game 4-1, if I'm not wrong. But again, it is not against a Man United level team. Like, even though it's Ole is Man United. But Taron, I'll take the Liverpool prediction because I don't want to, take from Michael because I know it's kind of, touch and go. But I think Porto will probably do well, but Liverpool should get a result, right? Taron, what do you reckon?
Yeah, like I said before, it does hurt me to say it, but I'm a massive fan of Liverpool as a whole. I think they're absolutely superb. With Van Dijk, I didn't expect him to come back straight away and have such an immediate impact coming back from a really serious, was an ACL injury. So yeah, I think Van Dijk's made that impact for them. Whether he will start is going to be a massive talking point, but I think he will come back in alongside probably Konate, I reckon. So I'm going to go with the 4-0 win to Liverpool. I'm going to go the 4-0 win. And Michael's eyes are already up. But I'm going with a 4-0 win to Liverpool. I think they'll dominate Porto. And yeah, I think you can come back to this again. I make bold predictions, all right? That's just who I am.
Yeah. I like the bold prediction. I'll remember this one.
Michael will take that, in
heartbeat, right? 4-0 against Porto away. That would be perfect for the group.
Yeah, I can see what Taron is saying, because definitely as in Porto are a good team, but Liverpool, the kind of attacking prowess they have, I know defensively they've been weak last couple of games, but at the end of the day they score goals for fun, and I can see high scoring games for sure, and Porto don't score enough as well. So I can see why he's saying that, but I think that's about it. I think Milan Atletico is the one that I would also like to get, Michael, quickly, and the chat as well. Milan Atletico, what do you reckon?
0-0. You know what it's going to be. This is going to be a boring game. It's just going to be Diego Simeone just defending. It's sad to see, but it's just going to be like that. Maybe Drew can score another scissors kick goal. That would be awesome to see. But it's 0-0. I see it all written in the stars.
Wow. Anyway, a lot of predictions made, and of course, I had put a poll as well, and that talks about basically which will be the first English team to come out of the groups and qualify for the round of 16. And there are no surprises there. It is Chelsea, but certainly interesting vote, because I didn't see a single vote go to Manchester United for obvious reasons, and that's something that I think only Ole needs to answer, like on the pitch. So again, I didn't put the poll to actually put a pun for Man United fans, but definitely and that's strange, because I got a lot of votes and not even a single vote for Manchester United. That tells me a lot, and I know some of them in the chat are Man United fans, so that's even more surprising. But yes, that's how it goes sometimes. But great chat, almost an hour. Looking forward to the game for sure. Hopefully Chelsea come back stronger after the loss, and come back just with a bang, because we are champions of Europe, and that's something that we believe in. And hopefully we'll do the job, and we have, I think, next Southampton. So again, a couple of Chelsea players there to look forward to, and a great week that we also look up to as well. And we'll be back with the review, so stay tuned for the updates on the channel. And if you have not pressed that bell notification icon, please do so, because like I said, a lot of live streams happening, and you can see a lot of panel and a lot of individual videos coming up. And recently also, we've launched the Almighty Blues Cricket. So Almighty Blues Cricket is live. For those cricket lovers out there, definitely do subscribe to that as well, and give this channel a like for every video, because the more people are there, the more interaction we'll have, and the more feedback we'll get. Is something that we would love as well. So over to you guys. Taron, again, great to have you again, mate. Any last words that you would like to share with the chat or with us?
Yeah, I always say it, but I love this channel. I love you as a host, Ankit, as a person as well. I think you're great overall, and I love coming on this channel. Great to be back on with Michael. I think great opinions on all different clubs across Europe. Great to be back on with him. Just on my personal kind of note, the next matchday vlog will be for Chelsea versus Norwich in about a month. So the international break. So then you have that content for that. And if you guys have TikTok, you can check out my Chelsea vlog channel on TikTok at Carefree Matchdays. I show different content about Chelsea, exclusive content that you can't find on my Twitter or on the TikTok channel. But yeah, excited for Palace versus Brighton. Excited to see what all this Brighton hype is about, and Vieira kind of flourishing in that new role. But apart from that, everyone smash the like button on this video, subscribe to Almighty Blues FC, and Ankit's a great guy, so I hope you show love to the video.
Thanks, mate. And yes, that reminds me, Brighton top of the table, possibly, right? Tonight, Michael, Liverpool being top.
Goals.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool, technically on top of the table, you must be happy, as in irrespective of the Brentford result, right? As in, that's something that week by week, it'll be a close season, right? But any last words, Michael? You feel free to plug in a channel, anything new that you're coming up with.
Thank you, Ankit, for having me once again. It was an absolute pleasure. Thanks to Taron as well, bringing good insight about Chelsea, and actually very good insight about every other club in Europe as well. You can catch me on Michael Talks Football on YouTube. Soon, the World Cup qualifiers return. I know some people don't like it, but I'm a person who likes it. So I will actually talk about each and every confederation, including Africa. So stay tuned for that, guys, if you want to subscribe to my channel. Then I just got to say thank you so much to the chat. Thank you to Taron and Ankit, of course. All the time I come on here, I have a blast. So hopefully I come in the future soon. Maybe when it's not a Liverpool draw, hopefully a win.
Well, let's kind of get offline in touch, and we'll decide for sure. But yeah, looking forward to have both of you, and of course both of you together is even more fun. And of course the chat again, thanks again for joining. Smash that like, share the stream, because the more people watch it, we'll probably have a bigger community, and we'll discuss much more next time. And until then, take care. Peace out, everyone.